Hello, One Piece enthusiasts. I'm the One Piece nerd, and let's talk about Chapter 1057. The end of WANO is finally done. WANO is over, and let's talk about it. So, I'm just gonna start off with the part I love the most: Momonosuke and Luffy's goodbye. Momonosuke and Straw Hat goodbye. Okay, but man, the impact of Luffy on Momonosuke's life is so incredibly enormous that we almost tend to forget that he's basically spent like equal amounts of time with the Straw Hats as a whole than Luffy by himself. But the amount of inspiration Luffy has given Momonosuke throughout Punk Hazard until the end of Wano is enormous. It it's basically the pillar that Momonosuke has built his strength upon. The amount of character development we've had from Momonosuke, I've talked about this before. I've dedicated a video to Momonosuke by himself. I'm gonna say it again. It's a lot of character development for in just 2 weeks, a month span of time, which is absurd to think about. That someone like an 8-year-old would become someone like this, who'd be able, someone who was able to become a leader and who's able to run a country and have a straight face and actually organize the whole country from scratch. It was basically in ruins and now it's getting back to normal. So props to Momonosuke for doing everything he did. He's still a kid, but he's done a lot. And the goodbye really hit me really hard. First, I thought that Luffy didn't say goodbye to Momonosuke because of the cliche trope that a lot of shows have, and when they're like, "Oh, I'm gonna create, I'm gonna create a bad mood between us so that it's easier for us to say goodbye." And I'm glad Oda didn't do it. Luffy, being as stupid as he is, thought, "Hey, I didn't say goodbye to Momonosuke. He's definitely gonna come crying to the ship, shouting at the ship, and then I can give him the flag." It's Luffy level logic, and well, it somehow works out as it always does, and it's hilarious at the same time. Luffy knows his man. It's like it goes hand in hand, really. Luffy trusting others and Luffy being Luffy. And I basically started melting. Tears started going down my face from the start when Momonosuke just said, "I can't live without you guys. I've basically been a part of your crew ever since Punk Hazard, which for them might be 6 months ish. For us, it's 10 years. It's harder for us. Basically, considered a Momonosuke and Kinemon was basically a part of the crew. They've traveled with the Straw Hats almost the entirety of post time skip after Fishman Island, and to finally say goodbye to them is like letting go of a Straw Hat. This is a larger separation than what we had from Vivi. Vivi was there for a while. Vivi was there from, I think it was, I can't even remember. My goodness. When they fought off Mr. 3 to, I think it was Little Garden. So Little Garden, was it Little Garden? Maybe a little higher. I can't remember places. I'm sorry, I'm not teching. But my point is, we've had more time with Momonosuke and Kinemon than we had time with Vivi. And this makes it incredibly harder. Vivi didn't join the crew. We were alright with it. Momonosuke not joined the crew. I said I really wanted him to join the crew, but hey, it's Oda's story. He does whatever he wants to, and it didn't happen. And we also see this inherited will sort of thing. At the end of the chapter, it said that inherited will will always continue moving forward. And if you look at it this way, Ace made promises to both Yamato and Tama, saying that he would save Wano and defeat Kaido. Ace couldn't do it. Luffy did it. Ace used to call Luffy the crybaby, and Ace was a big brother figure to Luffy, and now Luffy's a big brother figure to Momonosuke. It's sort of like cycle repeating itself. Inherited will continuing on, and I really, really like that aspect of One Piece. And this has never been more clear. As for, you know, when do we get to see them again? I have no idea. And like I could feel the admiration, I could feel the respect, the way he bowed down to the entirety of the Straw Hats, the way he basically kneeled down to Luffy and basically started crying. I understand the amount of gratitude he has for Luffy and everyone else. Because if it wasn't for them, everything that happened in Wano wouldn't have been possible. And I'm really glad that, Momonosuke basically respects them to levels that we cannot even comprehend. And moving on from emotional aspects of the chapter, because I can keep talking about this for the next 10 minutes. I might repeat myself, but let's move on to a little bit of different stuff. Yamato not joining the crew. I'm glad she's not joining the crew. She's a very one-dimensional character. Mr. Morge and I share the same motive. Maybe my opinions come from him, but I also agree that she's very one-dimensional. She's only one thing. I'm Odin, I want to join the Straw Hats. That is it. She said nothing else more than this. And for a character like that to join the Straw Hats without having any sort of character development, I would hate it. Because every single one of the Straw Hats, at some point in time, went through incredible amounts of character development. They have changes in mindset, they have changes in the way they think, and that's how they became Straw Hats. Yes, Yamato has great ambition, a sad backstory, but that's not enough. She doesn't have the qualities needed for a Straw Hat to have. And so, I'm really happy. But I'm not so happy with the reasoning because she said, Odin first explored Wano, then explored the rest of the world. I'm gonna explore Wano first before I head out to sea. That is a very, you know, a very dull reason. It repeats the same fact again that she's never really had any character development. The only thing she's had is a change of heart, and that too off screen. We didn't get to see the thinking process. She's a character that's been built up from the start of Onigashima till now, saying that she wants to join the Straw Hats, and she's Odin. This has been drummed in our heads from the start of Onigashima, which is basically 100 chapters now. I think 100? Sorry, 50-ish chapters. It's been 50 chapters-ish. And it's been hammered in our heads. And for her to finally say that I won't join the Straw Hats off screen without telling us the thought process behind it, I don't get it. Maybe from a writer's perspective for Oda, again, last 10 chapters of Wano has been rushed. Maybe Oda was getting bored. It's a long plot. It's been continuing on for 4 years. It's very, very, what you might call, he's probably burned out from the whole thing. He introduced too many characters and started way too much plot lines to get resolved for Wano that he sort of gave up on some of them. And we as readers should come to accept that because he's not writing a novel. He's not writing an entire book, editing, re-editing, rereading, and then finally serializing it. He only has rough ideas. He has good ideas for 5 chapters ahead, but he doesn't have the idea for the whole story where he can edit it as he wants to. He doesn't have the luxury. So I think we should give him the benefit of the doubt. Oda messed up. Okay, I'm gonna say it. Oda messed up on this one, but it's alright. He rushed it because he wanted to go to the final saga. But if he's gonna rush the final saga the way he did Wano, with hanging plot threads all over the place, I don't think I'd be liking One Piece the way I did it before. I'm sorry to say, but this is absurd. Whatever we got at the end of Wano, I did not like it. I will have a further speculation video on Wano in my next video. My overall feelings, what I liked, what I disliked, and my overall reading of Wano. Just saying here that last 10 chapters, meh. I didn't really like it because a lot of loose threads still to be uncovered, and we got Kaido and then didn't get a good backstory for Kaido, whatnot. There are underlying problems that I'll talk about in the future. And for now, this is it. The last thing I want to address is the trio of Lockheed and Luffy. It's been great to see it. From the start of Onigashima, to talk about Lockheed and Luffy first, ever since Onigashima till now, the three of them having a rivalry has been foreshadowed in Sabaody Archipelago. I really, really loved it. It's something that we've never gotten before. Luffy's never had a direct rival that he has to go up against. We've never physically seen a parallel rival in the pirate world. Yes, we've seen the rival like Smoker, Kobe, whatever, but we've never seen a pirate rival for Luffy. And to finally see it, and two of them at the same time, while having the dynamics that they had, now they have to separate their own ways and meet at an end goal where they have a mutual end goal, and we're gonna see them as enemies. That's gonna be a little hard for me to comprehend, but I'm looking forward to that. I'm gonna miss the trio. I'm especially gonna miss Law because I'm not a huge fan of Law, but the dynamic he had with the entire crew, the way he was there, exactly like Momonosuke and Kinemon, I'm really gonna miss Law around. He's basically picked up a lot of Straw Hat tropes, and it's hilarious to see him. I'm really gonna miss him as like a part of the crew. I'm basically considering him a part of the crew, and now that we don't get to see him for I would say a while, it's gonna be a little lonely. But we finally have the Straw Hats back together. It's been God knows how long we have the Straw Hats now all together in the same place. We maybe get a little bit of breather, and the way it ended, it all fits in so well. Kid antagonizing both Law and Luffy, it was hilarious. And the way they all went down the waterfall, sort of reminiscent of the fact that they started in the same place, and they're probably gonna end up, but they're gonna do the same things, same crazy things. As much as we like to say the Law is more calculated, he still has the wits of both Kid and Luffy. I would love to see them again all together, fighting a common enemy again. Maybe not the same way, but it was great to see it. I want to see it in the future. I really loved it. And that's it for Wano, honestly. And it's been a long arc. It's been talked about for 4 years. I caught up to One Piece manga after every ended. Yeah. And I've basically been following the entirety of Wano for 4 years. It's been a great ride. If you guys enjoy the video, make sure to like and subscribe, and feel free to let your thoughts down in the comments below. Until next time, peace.